Yeah, the George Floyd joke, it wasn't a tasteful joke to our culture, to our audience. But if you're watching the roast, you get why they're doing it. You get why the racial humor is on the...
You know, Kevin, they told me not to mention your kids on this roast, but I must say, you did good. They've gotten so big, they now buckle Kevin up in the car seat. It's true, he lost his gig hosting the Academy Awards because of some homophobic tweets, but you'd be homophobic too if you were eye level with everyone's cock. He got into a fist fight on a private plane, proof that no matter how much money black people have, they're still just gonna act like ninjas. Like Bill Cosby, Hart is a black comedian from Philadelphia, and like Bill Cosby, women don't know when Kevin is inside of them. You've done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you right now. George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
Do you feel like Tony Hinchcliffe went too far when he made that joke about George Floyd?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
I don't expect less. I don't expect more.
At the start of this month, Kevin Hart released a Netflix comedy roast special. The event was meant to be a fun and celebratory night for Hart, with other comedians joining him. But now, it seems like things have backfired. A big part of the backlash he is facing is because he allowed white comedians to make several racial jokes. For some people, this has even supported old claims made by Catwoman that Kevin Hart is an industry plant and a sellout. On Tuesday, Kevin Hart finally addressed the situation during an interview on The Breakfast Club. As many noticed, he did not take the side of those who were complaining. Instead, he in a way defended the comedians who performed that night.
Talking about that joke, talk about his set, Tony Hinchcliffe. Arguably had the best set. Would I tell those jokes? No, but do I get why they're being told? It's my production. We're live. Like, what is it that you expect me? You want me to take a live production and stand up and fight Tony or have a reaction like I don't understand why we stand on a hill, and it becomes like this.
Kevin is crystal clear. Yes, it's his production. No, he's not responsible for every single word out of every comic's mouth. Tony Hinchcliffe understood the assignment. That's what roasters do. Kevin himself said he wouldn't tell that joke. But he's not going to apologize for someone else's material. Is that fair? Or should the host and producer have stepped in? The internet is split, and Kevin is about to go even harder.
If your father could see how you turned out, he'd be rolling in his rubble.
Tony Hinchcliffe understood the assignment. Relentless as he always is, but funny.
The black community is so proud of you right now. George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
That's the joke that broke everything. George Floyd is looking up at us, laughing so hard he can't breathe. For the Floyd family, this wasn't edgy comedy. This was a wound being ripped open again. Terrence Floyd said, and listen to this carefully, looking up from where? Is he saying my brother is in hell? Now Kevin Hart is being dragged into a fight he never asked for, and he's about to fire back at everyone blaming him.
My rebuttal is simplicity. Remove me from it. I didn't say it. I'm not compromising the live production for a reaction of what do you want me to do? So I'm supposed to drag him off. You want me to fight afterwards. You want me to turn it into that's not what I agreed to do. That's not the job at hand. The job at hand was to produce a successful roast, which I did. Stop talking as if I said it. So when you say the family and the family's affected, I didn't disrespect the family, showed up for the family when it happened. I'm not talking about standing on my business. I did not say it. The responsibility it starts to compile as if I'm the one in charge. We are not in charge of the dialogue from anybody on that stage.
Kevin is not backing down. He showed up for George Floyd's family. He was at the funeral in Minnesota. He made sure they felt supported behind the scenes. And yet, here he is, being treated like he told the joke himself. But wait, there's another layer to this story. Remember when Kevin Hart spoke passionately about George Floyd's death, before all this roast drama? Let me take you back.
George Floyd's death is another pure display of hatred, racism, at the highest level. And after it's over, the thing that can almost at least correct is immediate reaction of consequences. And instead we wait. We wait. As a system, you're flawed. You're not only flawed, you're wrong on every level. And the only way to make anything better is to fucking fix a broken system. Immediate consequences. That man needs to be thrown in jail for life. Not in weeks, now. If you were on hand and you didn't stop that senseless murder from happening, you get time too. That's what a law should say. So every cop now has a severe consequence to their actions. Hold people accountable.
That was Kevin Hart before the roast. Passionate, angry, demanding justice for George Floyd. So how did we get here? How did the same man go from demanding police accountability to being accused of disrespecting the Floyd family? Kevin's answer is simple. The rules changed, and he never agreed to them. Meanwhile, DL Hughley has entered the chat. He's got a lot to say about double standards in comedy. When you tell jokes, it's comedy. When someone you don't like tells a joke, suddenly it's a problem. Let's hear DL break it down.
All right, so a lot has been made about the Kevin Hart roast on Netflix, particularly a joke that Tony Hinchcliffe told about George Floyd. I find it ironic that a comedian who appeared at a Nazi rally for Trump a couple of years ago and told a very incendiary joke would end up with that was in Jumanji. I just don't think those audiences match. But this is comedy. You could do whatever. The spirit of a roast, I remember years ago when it was the Dean Martin roast, you got the sense that those people liked each other. Those people had an affinity for each other. That it was kind of tongue-in-cheek. I don't get that sense at all. You are entitled to tell a joke, but it cannot be just jokes when the very audiences that support that kind of comedy got upset when someone said anything about Charlie Kirk. As I recall it, there were calls made to try to get people fired for just saying anything about Charlie Kirk. It cannot be just jokes when the current president of the United States of America is trying to get a comedian fired for telling a joke he didn't like and using the power of the FCC to do it. It can't be just jokes when the aforementioned man got so offended that, again, he's trying to get people fired, but he depicted Obama and his wife as apes. So jokes are fine, and I will defend the right to say whatever you want. But it is not a one-sided thing. And decidedly, there are people, we've seen 3 times when this president, and who I would say the same people that like Trump, like these comedians. Same people. Now, how is it that you call it, when you do it, it's called comedy. When they do it, a joke that you don't like about somebody you don't like, is something entirely different. I don't understand how those audiences meshed. I think I respect the right for anybody to say whatever it is they want to say. This is comedy. And, but it cannot be a one-sided street. It cannot be a one-sided affair. And let's be clear. When anybody, any white guy wants the freedom of speech, when they are yelling for freedom of speech, when they are clamming for freedom of speech, they really want the freedom to be able to say. All right, that's a little note from the GED section. Got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the DL Hughley Show.
DL Hughley just exposed the elephant in the room. Comedy is only just jokes when it's aimed at people they don't like. But when the tables turn, suddenly it's a problem. Suddenly it's offensive. Suddenly people need to be fired. That's the double standard Kevin Hart is fighting against. He's not defending the joke. He's defending the idea that comedians shouldn't be judged by different rules, depending on who's laughing and who's crying. But the Floyd family isn't interested in comedy politics. They're not debating free speech or roast culture. They're hurt. Terrence Floyd sat down to explain exactly why this joke cut so deep. What's funny to some is a trigger to others. And that's not politics. That's pain. Let's hear from George Floyd's brother directly.
So yesterday, I had a conversation with Terrence Floyd. He is the brother of George Floyd, and he was responding to the Tony Hinchcliffe joke that was told at the Kevin Hart roast about George Floyd. He believes Kevin Hart should have spoke up. Let's take a listen.
My thing with Kevin, and I'm a fan, I feel like my family and their friends, they said, it should responded right then and there, like, well, wait, hold up. Because I remember Kevin Hart and a few other celebrities was at the Minnesota funeral. In that respect, me watching some clips of certain other jokes, a lot of it just felt it wasn't tasteful.
Now, Terrence Floyd also talks about Gianna Floyd, who is the daughter of George Floyd, and how she deals with these moments and the jokes and how it comes back on her. Let's take a listen. One of the other things that they mentioned was like Gianna and George Floyd's daughter, your niece, being teased in school and how stuff like this doesn't help. Like, does she get direct response from things like this because they're so viral? She's getting older now.
She was 6 when this happened. She's 12 now. Well, I was talking to Travis yesterday. We realized something always is talked about or happen, or somebody say something or bring up controversy or whatever around my brother's name when it's nearing the anniversary of his death. It happened with this, it happened with Charlie Kirk, it happened with Lil Yachty. We say keep saying his name, but we don't want this narrative. This is crazy. We upset, but I'm focusing more on the well-being of my niece.
Oh yeah, the death anniversary is May 25th.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it is May 25th. Now he also talked about a part of the joke where Tony Hinchcliffe says to Kevin Hart that George Floyd is looking up at him. Let's take a listen to Terrence Floyd on that.
It was a part in there where we always say, my brother looking down on us because we talking positive. The fact that he said that he's looking up, we were stuck on that. When we heard it, we was like, he's looking up from where? Are you trying to say he's in hell? So this is not what comedy is supposed to do. It's not supposed to have us.
That's powerful. What's funny to you is a trigger to others. Terrence Floyd isn't calling for cancellation. He's asking for basic human decency. And he's right. A roast should be about the people on that stage. Not about a murdered man's family. Not about a 12-year-old girl getting teased at school. But here's where Kevin Hart's defenders fire back. He didn't write the joke. He didn't tell the joke. He showed up for the Floyd family when it mattered. He made the calls. He did the work behind the scenes. Meanwhile, something unexpected happened. Kevin Hart and Cat Williams, 15 years of beef, squashed, a handshake, a conversation. After years of tension,
by the United Nations last month, are you kidding? You're gonna make fun about the enslavement of my ancestors and you're gonna pass it off as comedy. Art, this was not comedy. This was a public execution of the honor, self-respect, and integrity of Black America, and we not going for it. Let's continue, Art. Almost done. Here we go. George Floyd is looking up at us, and laughing so hard that he can't breathe. You making jokes about Black people who were murdered by police? That's funny? That's comedy?
Yeah, they got where it needed. So Regina Hall then introduces the fact that they have a special guest there, and the special guest is Cat Williams. Let's take a listen to Cat Williams explaining the beef.
For those of you just joining us, Kevin and I have beef, and I'll tell you why. Cause privately this mother stole everything from me. Before he saw my act, he was a 6'3" white man. I tried to tell y'all that Kevin Hart was a plant, cause I keep burying him, he keeps springing back the up, just like a plant. Yes, I said some things I'd like to take back. Some things I said were misunderstood. I did say that Kevin was a Hollywood puppet, and I want to explain that, because it might not be what you think. I meant that the head of Netflix literally has his whole hand up Kevin's ass and can make him do anything. Kevin only has one rule in his movies: no N-word, and that N-word is no. It's never said it, never, ever.
In real time, this is live television to put our fucking beef behind us. Cat, I want to move on. Can we move on, man? Can we move on?
Kevin Hart and Cat Williams, enemies for over 15 years, shaking hands and moving on. In this business, that's bigger than most comedy specials. But why does this matter for the George Floyd joke controversy? Because Kevin has been called a plant by Cat, a puppet, someone who just does what he's told, a Hollywood creation with someone's hand up his back. And now in the middle of the roast backlash, Kevin is finally addressing that label head on. He's not hiding. He's not running. He's sitting down and explaining himself like an adult. The same way he handled the roast. The same way he handled the Floyd family. No drama. Just conversation. Let's hear Kevin on fixing things with Cat.
This is years and years and years of there's no reason why we shouldn't figure out a world of compromise we can get along. And we can give the fan base something different with us. Something that's unexpected. And figure out a way to work together, right? Figure out a way to fucking bring the comedy minds that we both have and put them at the table and do shit. Cat thought it was a fucking time to do it, as did I. Shook hands. Great conversation, great dialogue. The first thing that came up, of course, was the roast. When the opportunity for the roast came up, reached out to Cat, it would be dope as fuck if you did it. Cat said we just got in a good space. Kev, if I do it, I'm gonna do it. I said have at it. Cat had at it. And our conversations are private. Like, that's another thing too, man. I'm not big on running to the microphone and telling personal business. Like, be a fucking adult, be an adult, go call the person, go call whatever, whomever. Have a conversation after that. Conversation is had. That's your business. Me and Kat's business is ours. We are in a good spot.
Kevin is making a bigger point here. He doesn't run to the microphone. He doesn't air personal business. He picks up the phone and talks like an adult. The same goes for the George Floyd situation. He called Steven Jackson. He explained the roast world. And Stack, who was George Floyd's best friend, understood. But the internet doesn't make phone calls. The internet jumps to conclusions. And Kevin Hart is tired of being judged by people who weren't in the room.
So when you say the family and the family's affected, I didn't disrespect the family. Showed up for the family when it happened. Made sure that the family felt supported. Made sure that all things there were actually cool. Behind the scenes, just as an example, you know the one person that I talked to, and I'm not even gonna tell you the conversation, Steven Jackson.
Oh, I know you caught that.
That's because that's my nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, Stack, let me just call you, man, so I can explain to you like the world of the roast, X, Y, and Z. We talk, I get it, Kev.
Steven Jackson understood. The Floyd family is still hurt, and rightfully so, but Kevin Hart showed up. He made the calls. He did the work behind the scenes. So when people call him a plant, when they say he's a puppet, Kevin has one final message. Let's be clear about something. Kevin Hart did not tell the George Floyd joke. He does not defend it. He said it himself. He wouldn't tell it. Ever. But here's what he also won't do. He won't let the internet rewrite the rules of comedy overnight. He won't let people who weren't even in the room decide who should be canceled and who should be crucified. He produced a roast. A roast. The whole point is pushing boundaries. That doesn't mean he agrees with every word that comes out of every comic's mouth. And the Floyd family? Kevin showed up when it mattered. Not for cameras, not for clout. He was at the funeral in Minnesota. He made private calls to Steven Jackson. He made sure the family felt supported behind the scenes. That's real. That's accountability. So call him a plant. Call him a puppet. Call him whatever you want. At the end of the day, Kevin Hart is still winning. He's been winning for over a decade, and he's not going anywhere. Love him or hate him, respect the game.